Welcome back to the channel. Once again, if you guys like the content that we provide, be sure to subscribe today so you don't miss any of the upcoming content. We have just wrapped up Night 6 of Indiana Sprint Week, powered by Peak Performance Live here from the Terre Haute Action Track. And we got 2 more exciting nights of racing to look forward to. So if you enjoy dirt racing content, but you also enjoy NHRA content as we are ramping up towards the 71st edition of the US Nationals from Indianapolis Raceway Park, then be sure to subscribe today so you don't miss any of the uploads. And while you're at it, be sure to share this video with people you know who enjoy dirt racing, as it has become apparent that YouTube is not suggesting this video like I hope that they should have. So if you do enjoy dirt racing content, or you know people who do enjoy dirt racing content, share this video so that way we can get the views that we need on these videos, so that way you can further do more content like this. So if you enjoy dirt racing, share the video, and without further ado, let's get into the video. When I looked at the Indiana Sprint Week schedule starting last week, there was one track in particular that I circled that I was most excited to get to come to, and that was right here at the Terre Haute Action Track, one of the most historic racetracks in the country, both in dirt racing and in racing in general. You think about this place and you walk in here, you can feel the history. It's one of the few racetracks that you walk in here and genuinely feel the history come off the walls of this place. You think about the people who have raced here, you think about the people who have won here, and you think about the moments that have took place here, and tonight was one of those nights. An absolute all-time classic of a race during the A-Main feature event between Robert Ballou and Chase Stockon. Robert Ballou chasing his first ever win here at the Terre Haute Action Track, and Chase Stockon looking to win in his 500th career start. An absolute thriller of an event. We have a lot to look forward to in the highlights, looking at the championship points battle coming into this race as well. Briggs Danner, a big loser out of the night. He scored well throughout qualifying, but didn't score as well throughout the heats, and then really struggled during the A-Main, which we'll talk about here in a second. He's going to be the big loser. Kevin Thomas Jr., however, was not really able to capitalize like he should have, but Logan Stevie was able to do a lot better job of that. Didn't score as many points throughout qualifying. So there's going to be a lot to look forward to as we get set for the final 2 races. Let's take a look at your highlights, courtesy of our friends from Peak Performance.
Protect your vehicle with Peak Original Equipment Technology. Our formulas match the vehicle manufacturer's technology requirements so that we have the perfect match for every vehicle.
Chase Stockon and Robert Ballou would lead the field in tonight's 30-lap feature event at the Terre Haute Action Track, and quickly Chase would look to run away with the lead, but would bobble it out of turn 2, allowing Ballou to take over the top spot before a caution forced a restart, as Briggs Danner and Charles Davis Jr. got together, forcing Davis Jr. to roll over. Briggs Danner would enter the work area and return to the tail end of the field. On the restart, Chase would get a better launch off the start and have a full car length lead entering turn 1 as he would begin to lead the first opening laps of the event. Quickly though, Robert Ballou would start to build momentum, and by lap 10 would begin to knock on the door of the 92 car as they entered lap traffic. Ballou would once again get caught behind a slower car, almost costing him second to a hard-charging Kyle Cummins, who had been running third before a caution would come out for a stopped car in turn 4. On the next restart, Chase would bobble in turn 2 and open the door for Robert Ballou to take the lead of the race and run away with it as he would lead the next 9 laps. By 10 to go, Chase Stockon would have his line figured out around the Terre Haute Action Track and would start to knock on the door of the 12 car for the lead of the race. In turn 4, Ballou would bobble the cushion, allowing Chase to get to his inside. By the exit of 2, Ballou would circle around the top and keep the momentum down the backstretch and circle off the top again in 3 and 4 to keep a hold of the top spot. Ballou would stay tight behind the 92 car with 4 to go, and once again get the run off the top in turn 4 and take back the top spot as Chase once again pulled a side job and stay even with Ballou off of turn 2 as they battled coming for the white flag. And just as it seems Chase might have the race sealed up, the caution would come back out as Joey Amante would come to a stop in the infield of turn 4, but not be able to fully exit the track, forcing a green-white checkered finish. And on the final restart, Chase would once again find the jump he needed for the final 2 laps and claim his first win in 5 years in Terre Haute. And looking at the top 10 from tonight's event, Chase Stockon would take the A-Main win here at the Terre Haute Action Track, with Robert Ballou coming just short in second. Kyle Cummins, the first real strong finish he's had all sprint week. He has struggled to get consistent and solid finishes. Tonight he finally gets the podium. Last race winner, CJ Leary, another strong performance in 4th. Jake Swanson, another strong top 5 run. Logan Stevie down in 6th with Kevin Thomas Jr. right behind him. When Briggs Danner really struggled to perform, both of these guys weren't really able to capitalize, but still coming away with a 6th and 7th place finish. Mitchell Moles in the 19 AZ finishing 8th. Cale Drake, a good rebound in the 9th spot, and Ricky Lewis finishing in 10th. If you're wondering where your Indiana Spring Week points leader is, he finished in the 12th position after tonight after restarting at the beginning of the race from the rear of the field. And looking at your unofficial points after tonight's race in Terre Haute, Kevin Thomas Jr. is the new Indiana Spring Week points leader with 337 points. Logan Seavey finishing just ahead of him would hold on to only stay 2 points behind in second, with Briggs Danner having a rough night in Terre Haute, costing him to fall to third, only 6 points back. Robert Ballou would have a strong finish in the second spot, still holding on to fourth, still 31 points out of the top spot, with a long shot odds of trying to win the Indiana Spring Week title. Mitchell Moles still holding on the 5th, 42 points back, with Jake Swanson still holding on to the 6th spot, 45 back. Kyle Cummins would stay up in 7th with 54 points, CJ Leary down in 8th, Gunnar Setzer in 9th, and tonight's winner, Chase Stockon, bumping himself back up into the top 10, now 87 points out of the top spot. Chase, I talked to some of the people after this race, and they called that probably one of the best races at this track in the last 10 years. An all-out brawl between you and Robert Ballou to decide the winner of this race. It was incredible watching you from the stands. What was it like inside the race car trying to defend that lead?
It was pretty touch and go. I've led a lot of races up here and lost them late, so I think that's the earliest I've gave away the lead, I guess you could say, and then tried to reel it back in. So. When we had that caution later in the race, I just kind of knew that I needed to get pushing and not make mistakes and kind of figure out where I was losing on him at. So I feel like I've done a pretty good job of that. And, Steve and Tom, Mr., all these guys had the race car, Matthew, they had it on point tonight. So, it was my job to drive it. And, Robert and I had a pretty good battle there, and he always raced with me with respect. And him and I ran each other hard for a long time. So, he's a master at this place too, so to be able to outduel him here tonight was pretty special. So it's definitely one of the races for us, and hopefully race fans kind of remember for a long time.
You talked about in the opening section of that race, you gave the lead away to Robert. He just started the runaway. Not too many people will get second chances like that, but the racing gods gave you a couple chances to go out there and get right back there after him. How much of a sigh of relief was to see those caution flags come out to give you that second opportunity to go chase him?
In this case, it was pretty good. Just kind of gave me a time to gather myself there and kind of think about what I was doing wrong and kind of the places that he was gapping me on the racetrack. And I've lost a few of these up here, like I said before, and I kind of know what I did wrong in some of them, and some of that applied a little bit here tonight. So this kind of had to run hard and a little bit harder than I wanted to at points of that race. But if you're going to win these things, you got to be balls out wide open. So I think we did that tonight, and it's pretty special to reward these guys with a win.
The big highlight of this as well, 500th career start. Not too many people get to have a massive accolade like that and then get to win with those big round numbers on your start sheets. How important is that to get a win like that with that kind of accolade next to it?
Oh, it's awesome. I've been running USAC races for a long time, and I don't have near as many wins as what I'd like, but kind of getting later up in my career, and I believe this was Moose Racing's first USAC national win, so it's pretty special to get that with them too. And they're retired now too, and they just do this racing for fun, and it's pretty special to like I said, special to get them in victory lane.
We talk about the history that this place has. This is probably one of the most historic racetracks in Indiana, if not the entire country. What does it mean to get a win at the Terre Haute Action Track of all places?
It's awesome. This is my 4th win here with USAC, and my 2nd Don Smith Classic. And a lot of people don't know this, but Don Smith was responsible for kind of helping my career out in the younger days before he passed away. And he also has a lot of history at this place. He was from Terre Haute and done a lot for the community and this racetrack. So he's a car runner for years. He ran this place for years, and once again, that's special.
Final thoughts on this event? All-time classic of a race. I am really glad I got to be here. I am really glad I got to watch this in person. This was an absolute barn burner of a race. Robert Ballou had a massive shout out. This was a packed house, by the way. I want to give a massive shout out to the fans who traveled from all over the country to come here to Terre Haute to watch this race. It was worth the price of admission, and Robert Ballou said that after the heat races, he thanked the fans for coming out here because of the fact that as far as he believes, and as far as I'm aware as well, this is the last half dirt mile oval in the state of Indiana. And it's sad because it was one of the benchmarks of dirt racing, especially in the early days of USAC and sprint car racing in general. So the fact that this is the last one is a bit sad. It's a bit depressing to think about. But man, oh man, what a track to save, because this track once again proves why it is called the Action Track, and it is an absolute classic of a venue. If you have the opportunity to come out here to watch any sort of sprint car event, any sort of dirt racing event, take the chance. It is worth it. Support this place so that way this place can stay open, because it is an absolute gem of motorsports history and just motorsports racing in general. Looking forward, we're going to be down in Bloomington, Indiana tomorrow night, the Kinser family hometown, another classic event that we get to look forward to as we look forward to the penultimate night of Indiana Sprint Week. We have a lot to look forward to. It's going to get really exciting, especially with this championship points battle, because of the fact that Briggs Danner was able to climb himself back up towards the top 10, and both Logan Stevie and Kevin Thomas Jr. were unable to capitalize. It's going to keep this championship fight just a little bit tighter as we head to the final two races. So we're going to have a lot to look forward to as we get ready to head to Hopstock, Indiana on Saturday night. So if you do enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe today. Be sure to like the video, comment down below what you thought. Once again, thank you to our friends at Peak Performance. Be sure to go subscribe down below and go join the Peak Squad in the link in the description. Be sure to follow me on all social media pages on Mighty Mac Go Through on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And until tomorrow night from the Bloomington, Indiana Speedway, this is Mighty Mac. We'll see you next time.